Another ranking. You're ranking the Heisei Godzilla series today. Many Godzilla fans consider this to be the best era of Godzilla. In case you've been paying attention for these last couple of weeks, I don't fall into that category. There are some in this series that I do like, but there's others that I don't. And joining me today, yeah, the Showa series is better, KPF. I'll agree with that. But, well, it's debatable. And joining me today is Sean from JT is Reborn. I'm going to cut straight to the chase here. Hello, Sean.
Hello, Nick. Daddy's back. Ready to talk about the rankings of the Heisei series?
Daddy's back? Really?
Yeah, I'm going to refer to myself as Daddy JT is Reborn now, or something like that. I'm just going to call myself Daddy from now on.
Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. How about Shady instead of Daddy? Sean and Daddy. Shady.
Yep, I think it's kind of close. Godzilla Revenge was pretty good. I agree, Grimacing Gojira.
I love that name, Grimacing Gojira. It's so awesome.
Turn up JT Reborn's audio. Apparently, I'm not loud enough.
Get a little closer to your mic.
Hello, can you guys hear that? Is that loud enough for you?
No, actually, that went down. You might want to use your Bluetooth headphones then this time.
Motherfucker.
1 second.
All right. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
All right, cool. All right, cool. Let's get this shit on the road. Sean is ready. Sean is ready to talk.
You can go first, Sean.
All right. Woo! All right, so we're gonna go. You want to go back and forth, 8 through 1, or do you want
just go? I'll let you know when I'll jump in.
All right, cool. So Nick wanted to include Gino or Godzilla 1998 in this ranking as well. You need to be 100% louder so your voice can rupture my eardrums.
Tough.
All right, Nick, you might want to cover your ears. So at number 8. I pick Godzilla 1998 as the weakest of the Heisei series because it's not a real Godzilla film. Is that loud enough for you? Huh?
Carry on.
10 out of 10 audio. Great. Fan-fucking-tastic. So Godzilla 1998, I did a review on it on my channel. I pointed out all its problems. If you were to take it like as a movie, not just a Godzilla movie, it's still not that great, but it's nothing all that. Like it's a meh type of movie on its own, but as a Godzilla movie, it fails. It fails. Like it doesn't share really any of the characteristics of Godzilla. I do think Zilla is a cool looking kaiju, but it's just not doing it for me. Then you have Matthew Broderick with "That's a lot of fish, guys." I'm gonna break it. Like, that's a lot of fish, Nick. Huh? Did you see those fish? There's a lot of them. I'm the worm guy. Yes, exactly. So, that's number 8 for me, Godzilla 1998 in 8th place. And in 7th place, I'm going to go with Godzilla versus Biollante. No, I think Biollante is a really cool-looking kaiju. But like, there is a lot of pacing issues. There's a lot going on in the movie with the Seradian agent and all that other shit that I don't necessarily need or really care about. And this is one I didn't see till later on. And I think I don't really have as much nostalgia for it because I didn't see this movie till like 2012. Maybe if I did see this one at a younger age, I'd appreciate it more. But whenever I try to sit through it, I'm just kind of just like, let's pick up the pace a bit. Come on. And then Godzilla shows up, and Godzilla looks great. There's some cool action sequences. I like the Super X too, but as a Godzilla film, it's one of my least favorite of the Heisei series. So what is that? Number 7?
I'll jump in. I'm gonna jump in now.
That's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of teeth I'm gonna knock out if we don't zip it.
A lot of pizza?
Yeah, it is. Okay, so.
You said it was a cheese bread there.
At the very bottom, very, very, very bottom of my list. I really struggled with this one. Really, really, really struggled with the lowest installment of the Heisei series, in my opinion. Now, I am ranking my list based purely on how much I enjoy these movies. Okay? Purely on how much I enjoy them. If I was to rank these objectively, I'd blend into the crowd and repeat things that people have said a million times over. This is how I enjoy these movies. So at the very bottom of the list, for my least favorite of the Heisei series, is a three-way tie between Godzilla vs. Mothra in 1992, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah in 1991, and Godzilla vs. Destroya. I dislike all three of these movies exactly neck and neck. I could not and will not put one of these movies at the bottom and put one down here, then one down here, then put this one up here, then that one down here. All three of these movies I dislike equally the same.
So 8 through 6 then.
Yeah.
All right, so 8 through 6. Anything you want to add to that, Nick? Or you just want to
these are my Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah is so unique, though. I don't give a fuck if it's so unique. Just because it's unique doesn't mean it's good. So, tough shit. I don't like all three of these movies whatsoever. They have a couple moments in them that I like, yes. And they have a few things that are good that are going for them, yes. Huh?
Take that, you dinosaur. I'm gonna break Nick by the end of this video. He's gonna like just scream bloody murder by the end of this. Like, fuck!
So yes, number 6 on my list is a three-way tie between Mothra 92, Ghidorah 91, and Destroya.
All right.
So go ahead, Sean.
My number 6 is one that I think you'll agree is like definitely one of the weakest of the Heisei series. Godzilla vs. Mothra, The Battle for Earth. Now, we both did our video review on this one. You can check that one out. But I pretty much said all I needed to say about that one upon rewatching. I'm like, it's like I don't really care for any of the human characters. The action sequences are a little bit flatter than that. There's some beam spamming, which is cool. And then, like, I don't know, it just wasn't doing it for me. There's some good musical scores moments. It's just, you know what, let's just move on. I said all I need to say about Battle for Earth. I'd rather watch Mothra vs. Godzilla. That one is far superior to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So from here on out, the rest of the list, I consider them to be good movies, and I enjoy watching these movies, very much so. Especially the more that I get into this list.
Mm-hmm.
So number 5 on my list is The Return of Godzilla. Very good movie, very entertaining, very well made. Excellent reboot. One of the best reboots ever made. However, I put it low on the list because I don't have much of a connection to it because I've only seen the film twice. If I'd seen it more and at a younger age, I probably would have put it higher on my list. But as it stands, I do like the film, but I just don't have that much of a connection to it. And also the lack of another monster is why this movie is pretty low on my list. But I do consider it to be a good movie, and I would watch it again, and I do enjoy the movie quite a bit. I don't give a shit that you like Heisei Ghidorah, Sean.
I like Heisei Ghidorah.
I don't.
I do, okay?
I don't, okay?
Well, I do.
Well, I don't.
Well, I do.
Moving on.
I do wanna. I don't wanna. It's like Rodan's Robert Hybrid. Okay, so for my number 5, I'm gonna go with this one. Kind of surprised me when I was going through ranking it, but upon rewatching it, it really is like the stuff with the humans really drags this movie down. The monster stuff is really cool, and the ending is very emotional, and there's some really cool stuff with it. But Godzilla vs. Destroya. When I was younger, I appreciated this one more, but upon like rewatching it, I'm like, yeah, the human stuff drags. The Godzilla stuff with Burning Godzilla, the opening is really cool. I like how it ties back to the original film, and like there's some really like emotional scenes. Like Haruki Kube's score is really strong in this one. one of his best, but like there is one in the Heisei series that I actually, upon re-listening to, outranks it, and I'm sure Nick knows which one I'm talking about.
Biollante.
That one. Yes. Like I said, like that final scene with Godzilla dying was like that one made me sad. I think it was such a beautiful scene, the way it was shot and everything. I like the creativity with the Super X3. Destroyer just wrecking shit everywhere he goes, killing Junior and stuff, like dropping him off.
And not flapping his wings when he flies.
Maybe he's just farting, or like the gas that comes from him just elevates him or something. He's a hot air balloon, okay? Just accept that, because they apparently, like the effects in the Heisei series couldn't figure out how to flap wings. The Showa series was able to flap wings, but the Heisei series apparently not. So that's my number 5. Godzilla vs. Ghidorah!
Shut up. I will virtual smack you
Right,
if you utter that in my presence again.
Utter what?
I ain't falling for that. My number 4. I virtual smacked you.
God damn it, he's virtual smacked me.
Shut it, KPF. I'll boot you from the chat. Not really, but I'll boot you from the chat. Okay, so number 4 is, for me, for my list, is Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. Fun film. I have a lot of nostalgia for it. I don't think it's as bad as everyone makes it out to be. It has its flaws, yes. I will admit that. It does have its flaws. And at times it does kind of come off as a half-baked scheme. And oh my god, Miki Sagusa is just insufferable in this film.
You men, you stupid men.
Yeah, exactly. KPF, what do you... you bastard.
Oh, man. Keep it coming, KPF. Keep going. This is great.
I'm going to virtual smack all of you.
I mean, a virtual bitch slap really hurts.
So yeah, number 4 is Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. It's flawed, but I still do enjoy it.
You know what, Nick? This might surprise you, but my number 4 is none other than Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. So we agree on something. Gotta clap somewhere. But yes, I pretty much agree with pretty much everything you said. It definitely has its flaws. I have a lot of nostalgia for it, but Space Godzilla is my favorite Godzilla villain. He's just a fucking badass. Yeah, there's some moments where the effects kind of like look weak, but god damn it, Space Godzilla is so cool. I have a lot of nostalgia for this one. The music is kind of, actually,
I hate the music score. That's probably one of my biggest issues with.
Yeah, the dude who did the music for this one did 2000, did the anime trilogy. I'm noticing a pattern where I'm not really too fond of the scores, but this is his best of his scores that he's done in terms of Godzilla movies. Like Space Godzilla had his best work, but Space Godzilla is pretty cool. The action sequences with Mogera, like a bit of beam spamming, a bit of like close combat. It gives me what I like. So, yeah, that's number 4.
I'll agree with that, Grimacing Gojira. The ending song for Space Godzilla, when Space Godzilla is killed, that's a good bit of music. I like it.
Was that the orchestral score?
Yeah. Number 3 on my list.
What we have here. It's going to be Gino.
Yeah, it's Godzilla 1998 is number 3 on my list.
Because it has, roll please.
Lots of fish.
That's a lot of fish.
Yeah, there's some fishy dialogue in this movie. As a Godzilla movie, this movie utterly fails on every single level.
You know what? I just stop you for a second. I want somebody to re-edit Godzilla 1998 and replace every line of dialogue that Matthew Broderick has with, that's a lot of fish. That's a lot of fish, cut. And then the only other line that's different is the line that's where he originally says, that's a lot of fish. But
oh, yeah, like one of those videos where, like, it's Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Count Dooku, but every lightsaber strike, he utters, do it. Do it,
yeah,
do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Like, that's a lot of fish, just every bit of dialogue. I will be on the floor laughing my head off. Somebody has a lot of time in their hands. Please edit that together.
and send it to Sean so he can send it to me.
Yeah,
Anyway,
exactly.
so
that's a lot of fish time.
yes, the movie is an absolute insult to the original creators of Godzilla. It's an insult to Toho on every single level. However, like I said, I rank these movies based on how much I enjoy them. And I enjoy the living shit out of this movie. Which is why, once I'm done with Mecha tonight, I'm going to go out and watch my Blu-ray of Godzilla 1998 that I just got.
Good for you.
So yes, 1998 is my number 3. It's my third favorite Heisei film. Love it.
Yep. Love it, and gotta love those fish. You need to have a fish dinner when you eat that, or when you watch the movie.
No, I'll do whatever I want.
All right, now time for my number 3. Number 3 is Godzilla 1985 / The Return of Godzilla. This is the first Heisei film that I ever saw. I know I didn't appear in the review that Nick said, but I definitely really like this movie. Yeah, it sucks that there's not another monster. I think the music to it is actually really good. Godzilla's very menacing. The look of him is pretty cool. Like, the special effects are well done for the time. And even with 1985, I mean, it was cool to see Raymond Burr back. He was the only one taking the shit seriously. Everyone else just felt kind of pointless. It has some hokey bits and moments with the drunk guy and stuff. But I still like 1985.
That is one hell of a remodeling system they got there.
Yep. Hey, man, drunk and stuff. Back off.
Brought to you by Dr. Pepper, sponsoring Godzilla since 1985.
Yep. You gotta have that commercial where Godzilla's drinking it. Just for the taste of it. Regular Coke. But yeah, I like Godzilla 1985 / Return to Godzilla. You know, we need a title where it's just like I can fuse the both of them together. Where it's like Heisei film number 1. Unless you well, technically it's a direct sequel to the original. So would that technically mean that the original film was part of the Heisei series in a way?
Let's not get into that debate.
Let's not get into that debate. But my number 3, The Return to Godzilla. Godzilla's awesome in it. One of my favorites. First Heisei film I ever saw. And yeah, moving on.
My number 2 is Godzilla vs. Biollante. I know Sean doesn't like this movie very much. I do. Despite not me having that much of a connection to it, I do have more of a connection to it than Return of Godzilla. But just in general, I was very impressed when I first saw this film. It also may have to do with the fact that the first time I ever saw this movie, I was dating somebody who I really like, so that certainly did add to my fondness of the film at the time. Shut up, Sean.
Oh my God, you're so disgusting. How could you do that on camera? Jesus, that one sounded terrifying, I'm not going to lie. It sounded like a demon was possessing you. Oh, I'm coming out.
Anyway, so yeah, I was really impressed the first time I saw Biollante, and I love watching the film every time I see it. I think it's a really well-made movie. It's got some problems here and there, yes, but overall, I think it's a fantastic film. You can't deny that it is a very good sequel.
Yeah, I mean, like, it follows up on the last one, so that's cool.
Very well. And it sucks because the continuity of the series starts off so well, but then it's just fucked up by shit Dora 91.
Time travel. Time travel fucks with everything.
Yeah, exactly. So you're number 2.
Number 2. Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla 2. I mean, we did the review on this one. I originally was like, I didn't think of this one as highly until I did my rewatch of it. There's a lot of Godzilla in this movie. It's mostly monster battles. The story's pretty interesting. The musical score is the best of the Heisei series. The musical score, I mean, yeah, like Akira Ifukube is on his fucking A game right now. He's pumping out track after track. The opening thing, immediately when I hear it, I'm like, dun, 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 dun. All right, I'm not going to hum the whole thing, but you get the point. I used to be able to play that on the keyboard, but I need to relearn it. But it's a fucking badass theme. Mecha Godzilla is one of my favorite Godzilla villains. Space Godzilla is still up there. I prefer the original Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla as opposed to this one. But I prefer this one to Terror of Mecha Godzilla. But the Heisei Mecha Godzilla is really cool. Rodan makes a return, which is nice. Rodan doesn't get as much love as he like in the Heisei and then the Millennium series. Rodan's kind of shafted a bit, which I'm hoping with King of the Monsters they bring it back to like his show up like glory days a bit. But yeah, I definitely really dig this one. There's some cool action sequences, a bit of a good emotional tracks. Little Godzilla makes an appearance, and actually, yeah, he's baby Godzilla in this one. He becomes Little Godzilla in the next movie, then Godzilla Jr., and then he grows to full Godzilla size, and is never mentioned of again. Unless I used to think 2000 was a sequel, but 2000 really has nothing to do with it. I don't get why they didn't just make it a sequel, but oh well. But yeah, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 is my number 2. So go ahead, Nick.
Now you can do your number 1.
Number 1. Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, 1991. Woohoo! Oh, boom. But I do have to mention one more thing before I go into talking about this one. As great of a movie, it's still not as good as Godzilla's Revenge. I mean, as we all know, there are no Godzilla films as good as Godzilla's Revenge. But anyways, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, 1991. You got an interesting plot about time travel. You got the Futurians. You got Godzilla and King Ghidorah battling, you got Godzilla battling Mecha King Ghidorah, great musical score, some hilarious sequences. It's got everything I love in a Godzilla movie. Like hokiness, seriousness, an interesting plot, unintentional comedic gold, badass fight sequences. It's got everything I love. I mean, I love this movie. It's awesome. I know Nick doesn't, but I do. So, motherfucking Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, number 1. But still not as good as Godzilla's Revenge. So there you go. I love it too, KPS. Nothing brings me more joy in these videos than watching Nick quit and walk away in shame. Just breaking him is it's my joy. It's one of my pleasures in life in these videos. Like if I'm in the comment section trying to break him, or if I'm like actually on camera, breaking him it's the best. I must break you. Go ahead, Nick. I'm pretty sure we all know you're number 1.
So yes, it's no secret. Number 1 is Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2.
KPF says Godzilla's Revenge sucks balls.
It does.
No, it doesn't, KPF.
It does.
It's the greatest Godzilla film ever made.
It does.
I'm going to make a video talking about why it's the greatest film in the Godzilla franchise. It's a masterpiece. Godzilla says you have to learn to eat a lot of fish to know it. Yes! I love it. I love it. Godzilla says I have to learn to fight my own battles, you know?
It does suck. But my number 1,
as much as me.
My number 1 is Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. Need I say more? Fantastic effects, fantastic characters, except for Mickey Sagusa. Fantastic fight scenes. Godzilla is amazing. Fantastic music score. I can't say anything else about Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 that I haven't said already. Masterpiece of Godzilla cinema. More so than Godzilla's Revenge.
No, absolutely not.
Yes.
I mean, Godzilla's Revenge. Godzilla's Mechagodzilla 2 has a minion that doesn't look like a children's toy.
That too. I should have mentioned that in my review. Yeah, Little Godzilla looks fantastic.
But didn't he become a toy, though? So he technically doesn't become a children's toy?
Anyway, so that was my ranking and JT's Reborn's ranking of the Heisei Godzilla series.
Yeah, like the Heisei series, I remember like Godzilla-thon 2014, and I was really saying like the Heisei series is my favorite. Upon rewatching, I'm starting to lean more towards the Showa series as my favorite Godzilla series. But then again, like I feel like it depends on like maybe a more. I'm kind of in a Showa mode right now. You know what I mean? Do you ever get in that mode where some days you like something more than other things?
All the time.
Yeah, so like as of right now, I'm more in like the Showa mode right now, so I'm feeling like the Showa is better. But maybe years from now, I'll switch back to thinking the Heisei's better. But back when I did my Godzilla-thon back in like 2014, I was ranking the Heisei's as my favorite, and then followed by the Showa and then Millennium still. But now that I go back and rewatching the Heisei and the Showa again, well, I won't rewatch all the Showa again, but I'm more appreciative of the Showa series a little bit more now. But I still love the Heisei series. It's the most consistent. It has a consistent continuity, which is what I appreciate, because the Showa series is kind of all over the place. There's a lot of inconsistencies. The timeline has been, it's like Barry Allen went back in time and fucked it 100 times over. It's all over the place, but I still love the Showa series, don't get me wrong. But I love the Heisei series, consistency, plot threads that carry over, so on and so forth. It's a good time.
Well, my overall thoughts on it, I can honestly say that the Heisei series is probably my least favorite series of Godzilla. Even though it's got some really good ones in it, I just think overall it's the most overrated. Everyone just praises the ever-living shit out of the Heisei series this way and that. And I do think it is the weakest series. So with all that said, post your goddamn lots of fish comments down below and let me know what you think. Please kindly leave your butthurt comments in your own head and not in my comment section, because you will be deleted and you will be blocked if you post a single hate comment. This includes you, movies and wrestling. Quit with the cringy comments, please. It's getting old. Please. Actually, no, I shouldn't even have to say please. So anyway, look forward to, in a little bit, me and Sean will return for a double feature tonight when we tackle the first two installments of the Millennium series. Godzilla 2000.
9 minutes?
Huh?
I said, we'll tackle it, 9 minutes or something? Right on the dot? It'll be 8 o'clock my time, so that'd be 5 o'clock your time. We'll tackle it.
Sure.
Come back in 10 minutes. Go take a shit. Go take a piss. Or take your phone to the bathroom. Go watch a quick episode. Go watch some hentai. Go watch some clips from Godzilla's Revenge.
Anyway.
And then come back feeling refreshed.
Anyway. God damn, dude. Anyway. So look forward to that. And as always, go out and bitch about somebody's favorite Godzilla movie not being your favorite Godzilla movie. And as always, Sean, enough with the fucking fish comments. And I will see all of you guys, as well as Sean, in the next video. Anything else to say?
Check out my channel. Godzilla's Revenge is the best Godzilla film ever made.
No.
And it teaches. You know what? I have to make that video. I have to make it by the end of the year. Why it's the greatest Godzilla film of all time. Why it's a masterpiece.
No.
It's gonna happen.